we're going to both enable this connected, digitized environment, we need to have certain things, but also it has the opportunity to have this kind of impact. And if we think about the impact that we want this environment to have, it brings a lot of questions for us. And let's focus on the middle section first. So one is, what are our core principles and values? If we have the opportunity to do what I'm submitting to you is the opportunity, which is to create, because we're dealing with a digital environment, we can create the environment that we want to live in. Then the question comes back to us. Okay, so if I can create any kind of world that I want to be in, what do I want to do? What do I want to create? How do I want to live? What kind of wellness do I want? What kind of health do I want for my family? What are my particular family's needs? How do I translate these elements into principles and values that we're going to build through, that are going to be the lens through which we view what we develop as ICT specialists? What are the policies that are going to support that? What are the government policies and the regulations and the standards that we saw earlier that we need to put in place in order to guide the behavior that we want to see in let me move to the right-hand column for just a second, the design and the construction of the space. What kind of environment do we want? And how can we have economics, right? That's one of the products, is economic development. We can do a circular economy. We can do a digital economy. How do we make sure that, now going to the left-hand side, that all people can participate in this new digital economy? How do we give them the skills they need, the education and training that they need? Because no person should be left behind in this world. How do we make sure that an issue here in the United States, very bluntly, we have certain pockets of our community that have very good connectivity. We have certain pockets that do not. As a result, people are having to drive their kids or sit in a parking lot because they themselves do not have the connectivity in their own homes, or they don't have the environment in their own homes within which to effectively learn and study. That's a travesty. That should not happen anywhere. So how do we make sure that we have the policies, the economics, and the construction to ensure that the people are able to get the kind of education they can be, or accessibility to all? So you see here that also, even though I've broken this up in people, product, and process, each one of these feeds into the other. And it's all about how is the digital environment, how are you, ICT, experts and developers and designers and innovators and entrepreneurs, how are you supporting this space? What are you building? How are you thinking about what you're building to enable each one of these? What are the KPIs, the key performance indicators, that you're going to build into your own product to make sure that you're satisfying the principles and values that you've chosen to live by, or to satisfy the regulatory policies or the standard policies that are being developed? What kind of materials are you choosing to use? Are they good for the environment, or are they not? Are they toxic? What kind of infrastructure do you need? How do you bring in health and wellness into this for your environment, and also, though, for your employees, to make sure that they're happy and well so they can also be very productive? How are you managing your global supply chain or your local supply chain? And how do we make sure all of this is seamless and automated, predictive, and prescriptive, and taking the best advantage of this connected, digitized environment? And I submit to you and I challenge you, looking at this bottom line here, designing and developing a built environment that is equitable, accessible, enjoyable, healthy, sustainable, resilient, stimulating, educational, and what else would you add there? And I'm going to actually ask you to respond to that question. What else would you add there? What's missing from this slide? What's missing from this lower list here that you think is really important to add? And if you want to put that into the chat, we can take a look at that and maybe discuss that a little bit further. So once you have this concept, this holistic kind of concept of the connected, digitized environment, then the question for you all, because you are the ones that are creating this, you're producing this. We're going back to the data, which allows us to be the flexible whole space. We can do anything we want We have the power to create this any way we want. Now, how do you want to live? What is the world that you want to create? Because right now it's on us. It's absolutely on us. It's on us, it's on our governments, it's on our work with our government, it's on our labs, it's on our educational institutions, it's on us who are the creative people, all of you who are the creative people who are generating these new technologies, taking advantage of the new technologies, coming up with new products and services, are innovating. The question is in you, how do you want to live?